Okay, and let's say you want to do a animation. Well, because you've got this collection right here, you'd have to sit there and singly point to what one you have, start messing with this array, go get set with a integer, and that's where this current weapon is. This is an integer. It's always a whole number. It can be negative, positive, but you got to be careful, okay? Because you can go out of arrays, out of array index. It gives you error messages. Well, that's one reason why I have this pop in what weapon we have. Okay, so basically, this is the only one that I have to do messages to. When I do a change weapon, it goes through this one, points it to this. And if it's not equal to this one, then it shuts it off. Now I actually have the script open and everything else. We got a few ways to go before that. Now, when you go to your project and you start something, you want to have some form of good organization so you can find things. Find models, find your game, find anything that you need. Okay? This is an editor script. Anything that deals with the editor, this is where it goes. Like if you have like custom inspectors and things like that, well, this is the one that you're going to be using because the custom inspector for inside the editor has to go in the editor folder. But when you build it into your game and everything else, this folder is not included in the game that's produced that you would give people, and it's your build. You go up and you go, hey, I'm gonna build, and you build it out to this, or whatever, and you hit build to run. That file that it produces is the one that you give away. But, that's the whole ordeal of something completely different. Now, I've sectioned it off into scripts, models, prefab, scenes, shaders, world models. Probably could do a little better, but I like having world models because like the full model of something, you're not going to see. This is a first-person shooter game. All you're going to see, maybe the feet, the arms. That's about it. You're not going to see his face, head, rear end, whatever. So here's our little scripts. Now you see this word abstract? These are scripts that I may have touched on the last video, but now it's important that you do good naming conventions for this for scripting purposes because you have to know what they are. And if this is inputs, then what's this? Mono base. Let's take a look at this. Mono base. Bang. This is a public abstract class. So this will never be in the scene. Okay, let's go back over here. You got a mono base class right here. Alright. Now let's try to add this. Oop, and we drag it over here. Bam. Cannot add script behavior mono base. This script class cannot be abstract. So it can't be instantiated for anything. This is the same way too. Bam. Abstract. And you're like, why would I do this? Now, there's a reason why. Because this start right here, okay, calls this on start. And then we got this public virtual, which means when I go to another script, I can use this. I can override whatever values and different variety things for this. Now, this is the weapons testing script. Now, this looks really commented and maybe a little scary or complex, but really, it's not as complex as you believe. I put plenty of comments for you guys in this. So, we use systems, which is for timers and floats and all kinds of other things. And collections deals with arrays and just listing things. I believe you got to have collections to use this, but I'm not too sure. Then we got Unity Engine. Well, for obvious reasons. I mean, come on, we're manipulating the engine. So if we didn't have this, we couldn't access game objects and things like that. Now we got this new one using wardawnFPS characters.input. Now, why do we use this? Is because we need to access this, the input system. Now this is just a regular classing name, nothing fancy, okay? Well, because this is for inheritance. Now, if we go over to the input system, look at this. It's an abstract class, but it's a mono behavior, just like you would usually do if you just created a brand new script. Now, you see this protected field? This is used to make sure that you can't manipulate this around unless it's from a child class, or it's basically like a property. In the same way here. Now I've commented these serializable fields out because if you have these, okay, let's uncomment it just to show you. A serializable field, and I've got this in the input system. So you've got this horizontal. Well, you should be able to recognize this because the horizontal comes from Unity's little section on inputs, project settings, inputs. Okay, and look, we got horizontal. These are for keys that you're going to be using on the keyboard. Okay, and you're going to be like, and you can also add new ones. You can do a whole bunch. You can have the whole keyboard if you want. Well, I just choose not to because it would be a long list of game button down and scripts like this. You would actually, each button would be like this. It would be ridiculously long. Ugh. So, and we see this horizontal. This is a float value, and your horizontal get axes like that is a float value. Okay, you could probably push it to an int, but it doesn't matter, I guess. You just need values, and this is mostly used for animations. Then a lot of controller stuff. You'll use these. This is for controller stuff. But the reason why I do it in such a way in an abstract class is because if I go into, where did I put it? We inherited from it, so it's actually a child. So children would have access to the base class, which is the parent class. If you remember transform, and it says on update. Well, the reason why it does this is because it calls the update function in this. So this gets executed in this code. So you have all the access stuff about like base.change. That is the bool, the yes or no question that we have. Remember these? These are nothing but true or false. Now automatically they're false. But the whole idea behind it is to be able to say it's buttons up, button down. That's it. That's all we need.